Still waiting for the last bans from both teams here in the second phase. We see the Lycans and Bristles. Bristle has been banned a couple times already during the course of this series. The Lycan also after that second game, which worked out nicely for Hydra. Already commended ICQ for his performances there with his hero. We're going to have to get something new for him this time, though. Are we looking at falling back into the basics for Hydra? They've had these flashy lineups when they've played the Bristle back, but if they fall back into the Faceless Voids, the Monkey Kings, the Bloodseekers, I feel like Rari is more of a initiating pause 1 hero, and then ICQ might have more reign for these big openers.
I'm just thinking as well, like, could they go down the Juggernaut route on Hydra's side? It's pretty decent against the Enchantress. You've got a good amount of magic damage, and I don't want to say stuns already for the Puck. God damn, that Quake for voice line.
You hear a mosquito?
Yeah, I hear the mosquito. The Tiny, it gives you that little bit of burst that you need to be able to lock the Puck down for the rest of the damage to start to come on through. See, I feel like the Jug is fine. Again, it's one of those heroes that hits these early timings. You probably could say that the Lifestealer fits a similar sort of niche, right? You just need Armlet, maybe Deso, and then you can look to make the push happen as well. So, yeah, just like a Maelstrom Juggernaut. You're able to get a lot done super early. We'll see what they end up doing on Hydra. If I was in their shoes, I would pick some kind of frontlining stun that has push.
Frontlining stun that has push. I was thinking Wyvern, because that's usually a hero that you could just pick into the unknown. Jakiro, that has also been a theme today earlier on, has been a third pick. Don't think they play Jakiro at all on the side of Hydra, but I guess if you got the Zeus and the Tiny, Shaman, Warlock. Warlock is in the pool. What about Hoodwink?
Horrible, yeah. I feel like you're able to convert with a Tiny, you know, just have, if that's your position 4 and 5, they just look to rotate forward. It's push. Like, I don't hate this, you know, just able to continuously push forward. It doesn't actually get the towers, though. The thing that takes the towers still is yet to be revealed. I'm even thinking, like, could this potentially be a game where they might break out, like, an Alchemist or something like that for the mid lane? But then where would the Zeus and Tiny go? It wouldn't really work, unfortunately.
That would be the first Alch pick. So we're returning back to the Pudge. I saw a small smirk on your face. I saw a small smirk on your face.
Now it's a good Wyvern game, man. It's a really good Wyvern game, dude. Like, again, it's a pretty good Wyvern game. The issue is, this time around, PuckChamp would have the Dream Coil to be able to lock in place, and then suddenly it's not quite so easy to be able to just fly around and do whatever the hell you want, right? But you got damage over time against the Pudge. The Mars is okay, I suppose, but the issue, again, is just going to come down to being able to catch out these more mobile heroes, even just in the laning stage, right? Pudge into a Mars isn't super easy for the Mars either, who typically is one of those lane dominators. So
yeah, it might be a game late with the Mars, but at least we get to see the Mars on Hydra's side. I'm just thinking about the hook save against the arena. It still goes through, right? You can save your ally with the hook and he doesn't stay, even if the phalanx would manage to hit him on the edge. Because the hook is obviously OP, so that doesn't really work there. But at least the Dazzlegrave enables to keep your cores alive a tad bit longer. They have a lockdown and a way to keep the Pudge away from them. But what is this IO partner? Is it IO Pudge? It sounds so unorthodox for PuckChamp if they played IO Pudge as the safe lane duo.
It could be. I mean, it's just something that's going to allow the Pudge to stay there and use the rod a little bit more aggressively. I mean, it could just be an IO plus, I don't know, what else is going to be paired together with this? Like, I'm thinking a position 3 that has very minimal cooldowns, that takes advantage of the fact that
usually the Mars is that guy.
Well, that or the Night Stalker, but Night Stalker's been banned out now with Hydra in this last phase, so maybe it'll have to be the IO paired together. Again, you have to remember it's Roger most likely playing the Enchantress, although his IO is good too. But I think his Enchantress is really good, so I just want to give him the comfort, right? Give him the ability to just do whatever the hell he wants.
I think sometimes we've seen DK paired up with the IO, not that much great success, but at least it enables him to sustain a bit more. But he's already got a lot of sustain, so do you want to double it down? Not sure if that's the tool to go for. So the Mars is usually paired with the IO, but Mars is already picked on the other side, and they will return to the Timber Saw. So Young G, Timber, and Kralat with the Pudge is looking like it, unless they put Malik on the Timber and put the mid Puck instead, which would be the more
well, we got another aggressive game. That's what we got. It's just like fighting in basically every lane except maybe mid is what's going to be happening here. Like Zeus, Puck, they're just going to be trading farms super early on until that level 6 starts to come out. Maybe then you'll look to get a bit more aggressive onto the Zeus, but again, he's going to have the Heavenly Jump, right? So he's going to be able to get away from a lot of those gank attempts. Not so much if the Dream Coil comes out, though, right? That's going to severely limit his ability to escape from a lot of that. So it's going to be, in my eyes, on Roger, on the back of him, to be able to make that rotation through and make that a success. Again, I'm not making a prediction. I'm sitting back. I'm relaxing. I'm enjoying the show because these two teams are just going to be running headfirst into each other.
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do the same thing. I mean, if we had a panel, it's the panel's job to throw the predictions, but we're technically your caster pair, so we're just gonna chill. Hopefully, of you guys are gonna enjoy this game as well, because this is, again, you know, PuckChamp did give a very entertaining game number 1 with almost the same heroes. There's swapping roles a little bit, then a couple extra new ones added into the mix, and Hydra fighting for survival. The theme has not changed. They won game 2, brought it to a tie. They're motivated. They're ready. This is the last game if they win this one. If they win this game, they will not have to worry about a tiebreaker situation. For PuckChamp, this is the last game, nevertheless. There's not going to be any variables. I believe so. Let me just quickly double check.
We think.
If Hydra wins and no Sorry wins, yeah, the next 3 is just out. Yeah, true. So, PuckChamp does not have to worry about any further shenanigans. This is their last game.
I mean, it would be a crazy situation if Hydra wins and then Empire wins. Then you would have a... No, if PuckChamp wins and Empire wins,
yeah,
then it would have a 4-way tie for 2 teams to get relegated, which should be pretty damn interesting.
That would be very, very, very wild. So tiebreakers, if they happen, they're going to be played this week, Saturday. So you don't want to miss out and sleep on Division 2 action. The region...
It could even be an upper tiebreaker as well if Cybercats beat Hellraisers for that second spot.
And that is the last game of the division as well. So they left the best for the last. But this series is not too far away from that either. Pretty calm start here on both of the teams, not taking too much. And as the horn sounds, we get our bounties to spawn as well, without a fight.
I didn't realize you knew Mongolian throat singing.
Oh. Well, yeah, it's a first. I've been practicing. It's not pristine, it's not great yet, but getting there. Slow progress, but progress nevertheless.
Bro, if that's not pristine, I don't know what is. I could never do that in a million years.
They're the perks of having a whiskey base. Anyway, let's kick things off as we have a bit of a different change in the mid matchup. This time, Puck Zeus, not the Zeus Wyvern this time. We've seen a lot of good pucks in the past for East Europe, especially... If I reminisce an ex-Division 2 team, probably one of my favorite teams to watch, Betboom, Laurel, who was a very good puck player. And then we have, was there an SCA player called Bob? Yes, there was a player called Bob.
Yes.
Bob's puck
is
so fun. It is so fun.
It is the definition of, like, sink or swim. But honestly, Bob, in general, is. Like, he will dive your tower level 1 on Batrider just if he thinks he might be able to get an extra CS.
Yeah,
you know, like, that sort of is the way that he plays.
That was something I remember from the last time, prior to today, when we were casting SCA, that there was Bob and Puck, and I was like, man, this guy is inked an image into my brain, and I cannot get rid of it. So let's see if Youngji
That's
is
the type
able
of
to
guy
pull
Bob
out his own moves here.
We've even got a few, you know how you can like name your Lone Druid Bear and the Beastmaster Boars and all that sort of thing. In C, a few people have called their boar like the name of another player, so we've got a Bob Boar out there as well, which is always pretty fun to see. Yeah.
So, semi-calm start. Hydra and PuckChamp basically fighting in the jungle for keep creep control. This lane is going to push heavily into the tower of PuckChamp as he connects. Carla connects the other way from the hard camp pull. One of the range creeps was left to the easy camp, but it doesn't matter. Koval trying to interrupt as much as possible.
Ascold's doing damn well in mid lane as well. Already got 4 denies off, which is pretty damn significant when you consider what you're up against. Like, Puck has very easy ways to just secure a lot of those creeps. Of course, yes, you need to be careful about the lane just freely pushing in and giving Zeus free CS, but if he's just gonna outlast hit you, then sorry, you gotta take that loss.
Everyone is doing great for the first 3 minutes, yeah. Just with the early denies advantage for Ascold. They are battling out in bottom. They're trying to hunt the Enchantress. No Boundless Strike anymore. It's just Hughes and Malik.
Oh, nice mischief.
That's a very good mischief. Right on the point.
That's a life-saving mischief, a first blood-saving mischief. Like, it's plays like that that could honestly turn the tide of an entire game. If Malik gets up to like level 3.5, another one. I mean, it's kind of easy, but you know, to be able to do that in such a high-pressure situation, it's pretty nice. I nearly had my own LD wow moment, you know?
Yeah, it is pretty much one of those. I mean, I think there was a good conversation. Yeah, kicked. You got the heal out. It should be fine. But basically the... Okay, let's maybe look at top. Hook. No? Okay. Gotta hold on for it for a little bit longer. Gets hit by a tree. Probably should hook back at that point. There was a conversation in a Division 1 game. I think it was Cinderin who said, like, we are no longer baffled by... Well, there's a first blood. But we're no longer baffled by the Manta dodges, but instead if somebody fails a Manta dodge.
Yes, absolutely.
That took me way too long to get that out of the system. I must have
No, it's fine. He's pretty on point though with these mischiefs. He's only bronzed here, but this just might be one of those ones where Kick D's about to die again, maybe?
Yep, there we go. Tempered Chain will connect. That's also Ducalis losing his courier in the top lane. Koval, this time without boots, but has a wind lace. He's able to snipe that one out of the way. What's the tip for? Is that
just for fun?
Did he scout out what was on the courier before Koval killed it? Maybe there was something that we don't know. I mean, even us casters can't see what's on
though, right?
Yeah.
He would have tipped Koval, not ACQ, so it would have been fine.
Yeah. 5 minutes and 1-1.
Another toss back. Oh, they went for the spear back underneath the tower, but just was off point. Now that's the time to throw a tip out.
Roger falls. And we're battling in the bot lane at the same time. Just a casual kill in the river. But yeah, the setups for Hydra leads into another kill.
I remember, like, back in the day, speaking of C and Bob and all that sort of stuff, there were Neon, when they were playing with, like, Scam and Natsumi and Yopaj, they did, like, position 5 Tiny and, like, a pos 1 Magnus, and they would do toss into Skewer back underneath the tower just to get that first blood to really scale off of kills in the laning stage. And
right.
I mean, that was when Yopaj was playing mid for them, and we all know how good Yopaj is, able to carry games from that mid lane role. Yeah, so Natsumi would make a little bit more of a semi-carry, but yeah, it's they tried the same sort of thing, of course, with a toss into the spear back, just weren't quite as successful up top lane.
Oh no, Ascold! That's the wrong spot to jump in.
No.
He is gonna die. Heavenly jump into a very unheavenly location, so probably just try to juke around maybe the cliff edge or maybe get all the way to the top high ground of the jungle, but ends up on the smallest platform. The Classic.
You gotta love as well that I was hyping up Roger so much this game, and he ended up giving the only 2 kills that his team have given up the entire game. You know, classic caster curse coming through.
Happens to the best of us from time to time. It's funny. No matter how many times you're correct, if you're wrong once, you will always be remembered for it.
I mean, Kyle's made a career off it.
Yep. True. I actually, when we were in Stockholm, we did go to the interview room to have that open Q&A, and that was actually my opener question to Kyle. I'm trying to remember how it exactly went. It's just a Koval kill. We didn't miss anything important here. But it went something like predicting this and that, and you know, it's gone this way. What are you gonna predict next, or something? And how's that impacted your life and stuff like that? And then he just went on like, well, I mean, my girlfriend left me, and I got kicked by Valve, and you know, I lost my team, and it was like, okay, well, that went really fast. So but yeah, you can make
just
a
a
career
question,
out of it.
bro.
It's just a question, indeed. It's just a Q&A, man. Nothing too serious about that. He was actually replacing somebody who was, I think, Cap, or someone who wasn't able to show up at that time. He was replacing him. It was a last minute. Oh, this Wildwing Ripper is a nuisance in the thorn of this Dazzle. He actually get a kill with this. Oh, that was very close.
Still forcing a Dazzle to shallow grave just to survive against that. Pretty significant. We do have that level 6 up now on top lane, and he uses it immediately. Nice hook, though, coming from Krylak.
And that works. You can hook save the arena. They won't be staying inside of it.
Hook's OP.
Hook is really OP when you think about it. Like, we saw the blinding light animation happen earlier on. They're focusing on the Pudge here with a 4 versus 2 scuffle. And Asgold, of course, he wants to double for himself. Why not? He's a Zeus in the end.
Do like this from PuckChamp, though. They're not just sitting back and farming the jungle like my pubs. It's really just going to be pushing something. They're not losing something for nothing. They get that mid-tier 1 tower, showing the strengths of the Enchantress, as well as the Puck just being able to shove out that lane instantly. So with that, opens up a lot more of the map, means that they can make a lot more effective smokes happen as well throughout this middle area of the map. But for now, just wanting to make a rotation down towards the bottom side with the Haste Rune still up on the Puck. Looks like they will be wanting to try and get a kill, but the Spidey senses were tickling on Arari, so it makes the TP up towards top side. And they want to try and make some pressure happen up there.
Well, at least PuckChamp is able to get a good amount of pressure towards the bottom lane, work on a second tower. I think that's pretty big that they're able to get the tier 1 tower that early on here without contesting. So sacking the Pudge's life, the hero that's been very annoying for them in the first game of the series. Getting that early kill must feel good, because we remember Krylak was sitting at, I think he had 3 or 4 flesh heaps inside the first 10 minutes, and from there it was just a spiral of kills going his way, and currently he's got none.
He is at the top of the net worth board, though, so it's not like he's severely suffering either.
No, but he was out of hands in the last time, so I think Hydra is still managing this pretty well.
He had better ways to set up for kills, though, right? Like, this time around, he's paired together with either an Enchantress or an IO. There's a slow coming through from the edge, but it's nothing like the Oracle that Dakalis was playing previously, where it's just purely locked in place.
Tanks an illusory orb before he teleports in. And actually went for the bottom tower, and he's getting guided by Malik. They're gonna have to call for some backup, but he's just dead. Malik will punish him. Oh, he just DP'd in from mid to take that one, and now we've got a tough fight going on as well. And Pudge somehow catches the spear instead of the IO taking it. Very good body block work there, but his friend is gone, and Krylak would love some backup. And here comes Young G, goes for the coil, onto 3, will take down 1, but Pudge is dead. So he takes something and a quick drive-by out.
But they do realize that, you know, you use TP on Tiny, Dazzle, and Zeus for coming to the bottom side of the map. Zeus ended up finishing his and died, but the other 2 just ended up staying up top. So Malik will feel very comfortable in just going straight back into this tower. It's going to need to be the Monkey King or the Mars that makes this rotation down. And honestly, either of them, I guess the Monkey has a little bit more mana, but Mars certainly isn't in a position to be able to prevent this from happening.
So what are the big items we're looking at? Zeus is going for Kaya. Monkey King's finishing his Echo Saber. Is Tiny getting his Blink? No, not yet. That was a very optimistic notion because he is the last in net worth, so might as well look at that. He's got less money than the Blink actually costs.
You do have Krillat finishing up the hood though, so that's going to provide him a whole lot more sustainability in these team fights, both self damage from the rot as well as
got the confidence here in Malik, and that's a beautiful catch right there. Enchant to dispel the Jingu stacks away from the Monkey King, and suddenly he feels like a creep again. The Timber Saw just punishes him, and they also finish off Koval to get 2 quick kills for PuckChamp. That was really well played, Malik, with the full-on bait play.
Yeah, Malik's having a fantastic start. Again, just pushing this down. He doesn't even need to be doing a lot of the right clicks onto the tower. He's letting the creeps go in.
Last hit on the coil. The impact coil damage. The initial damage to finish off the last hit. Sure thing.
Nothing too out of the ordinary for Krillat. He's just going into the Aghanim Scepter after this.
Double axe.
No components just yet. Yeah, double axe. 1 for each hand.
How many hands does he have? Is it just 2? Yeah, it is just 2. It's just the flying...
The Dr. Octopus hook, yeah.
The tendril hooks.
Iris certainly does make up for a lot of Pug's weaknesses, though. That's slow attack damage with the overcharge.
Yep.
That you can farm just so much more quickly.
Well, this is a bit of a, you could say, it feels like a slugfest for now, but I'm pretty sure we're going to see a much more active game kick on later on. Hydra is intentionally playing this much more safer than they were completely ran over in game number 1, forced to fights and unfavorable fights, and they just kept falling further and further behind with the Ursa. Fun thing is Ursa actually lost both of the games during the series, so it didn't really favor either team. So Pudge is a win, Zeus has a win, Monkey King is the wild card factor.
First, yeah, haven't seen the monkey just yet, but yeah, I don't know. Like you say that they haven't. It's not as bad previously because they're not just getting completely run over. They haven't lost all of their towers by this super early point, but every lane is lost right now. Like PuckChamp are well ahead. It's not like this. What's the right word? Deceptive net worth. Like it's not like a Doom or an Alchemist or anything like that. This is just net worth that they have earned through a lot of team fights, through more efficient farming. So yeah, they're still in a really good position.
Can we use a Dota term? And you know, you've got reliable gold, and then you have unreliable net worth lead.
Oh, there we go. I like it.
That could be something that you can use, especially in those Alchemist games, because it definitely is like. The game is tied, but the Alch is 3k more, so it's technically a tie game because all the cores are doing well. Tiny getting coiled up in the top lane, and here comes the backup. Almost in for an ill surprise, so we'll try his best. They should have more than enough vision, especially with this illusory orb, to scout the Tiny's movements, and the hook misses, but the flesh heap stack nevertheless.
Let's see who they're able to convert on with this time. We see a triple smoke coming out.
It's
going to be Roger. He's farming in the right spot, though. He doesn't mind dying.
Yeah, it's the classic Enchantress gameplay. I remember a player called Ponlo doing this quite a lot on Enchantress when he was playing in NA.
Oh, he still does.
Oh, he does.
Now that he's playing in China.
Yeah, still does. But that's one of those good deaths again. You're dying in the enemy jungle. You force them all back. They smoked for... I actually have to double check. I forgot the smoke price. 50 gold. Okay, so that's 50 gold for a support kill. And some time spent not hitting creeps.
They very clearly weren't smoking for him, though. They were trying to take out the Timbersaw instead, so his positioning...
I imagine. If you were intentionally just hunting an Enchantress in the game, like, what's your end game goal? Going for that. You don't have to answer.
We've seen a couple of Pos 1 Enchantresses, haven't we?
Actually, yes.
Sure we've seen it before.
There was an Enchantress carry against the Medusa in NA. Yeah, that was a Division 1 game. I think it was Constabile. Constabile was playing it, I think.
anything can happen in NA, man. It's a wild region.
It's a wild round, for sure. I feel like SA is more sophisticated at times. When they used to be...
You heard it here first. SA greater than NA, according to T-Panda.
I mean, at times, it definitely does feel like there's a lot of question marks, but NA is starting to lack the players. NA is starting to lack the players. But I've had like, I would say 15-ish interviews with NA players, and I think 7 of them have been saying, when we talked about the roster and the team in general, they're like, we don't have enough players. You don't have enough Enchantresses to hunt down the map as well as ICQ. Enchantress inside the arena.
They can reload anytime they want, though. If they were really feeling keen. I mean, you've got the Ags on Pudge now, so they are keen to try and make stuff happen. Maxed out Flesh Heap as well. 2 points Dismember.
And that was 2 ultis used for an Enchantress kill. They used the Thunder Gods and the arena for it.
Really feels like they're in a position to just do whatever the hell they want. The question is, where do they want that action to happen? They don't have the greatest Roche-taking lineup on PuckChamp, and to be fair, neither do Hydra. So I don't think that they need to actually put too much emphasis onto playing around the top side like a lot of teams would most of the time. I feel like bottom side is where they have their vision. Bottom side is where the tower's already taken a little bit of damage. Bottom side is where that outpost is as well. So I really wouldn't hate to see PuckChamp play a little bit more around that sort of area.
Somebody's showing up in the scans. They're heading that way. Relocate is also being popped, but is it on the point? Looks like this relocate is going to fall off very far. Hydra able to dodge this gank, and they head straight towards the tier 1 tower. So Krau's going to be able to finish this one off. One thing I do want to point out about his farm pace. Oh, they relocated away now, so let's see what they can do here. Roger. No surprise. Young G pops down the coil onto 2. They have to TP manually for this one. Leash broken. Hook comes in. Will land onto the Tiny. That's 1. Can they get the Monkey King? That's the big prize. Yules into the air and surround it. And this time the Mischief won't help you, as they will hunt down 2. Maybe even 3 is kicked, trying to make a run for it. Chakram is available. And there we go. Dazzle caught in the hook. Malik finishes off the kill. And despite Pudge landing that hook, Malik gets the kill. He's outside of Flesh Heap range, so he doesn't get a stack for it.
Man. You hate that sort of situation, right? Where you're like, you're getting all this farm, you're getting the net worth, but you're not getting the experience. You're not getting the stuff that really matters, like the Flesh Heap.
And that was a very close one to catch as well. I mean, Timber could have just stood there. Closing up on our first 20
a very nice
played.
pickup to Carlos.
Hey, a little bullwhip to pick up in the jungle by Krylat. Was that the... Was that their bullwhip? No, that was their bullwhip. Okay, so there's another
Timber
one in Hydra's backpack. I thought that was one of theirs that was left in there.
Unfortunately not.
Unfortunately not. That's a great item for IO.
Oh, yeah. Just amps up everything.
Also got a feeling you did just say that that's a nice item for Ducalis. I just want to highlight it double. That is a really good item to have.
Is it a good item, though?
It's a good item for IO. I don't think it too much is. I think maybe Spirit Breaker and IO are the ones who enjoy the most out of it.
And anyone just that likes whipping in general, you know?
Yeah, I guess. I could put it that way. Blink. Spear misses, and blink out. And now you just need to get your IO out of there. Just need to get him, but no. Hook doesn't cool down. And that will be the end of the IO Amalik. Coming in, Young G also landing a very nice coil onto 2. Monkey King in trouble. Rory down first, and that's gonna hurt Hydra a lot. And Krylite blinking in for the Zeus Ascald. He's gone. Kicked is dead. Koval getting hunted. Slowed down by the rest of PuckChamp, and a Fey Grenade of all things to the high ground as they secure Koval. You need BKB, I guess that is what he's trying to tell. Some mosquito buzzing in the ears of Hydra right now. 4 for 1.
Honestly, he's not lying, Roger. Like, look at the heroes that you're coming up against. Pudge, Timber, Enchantress, Puck. What do you do as that lineup if you're coming up against a BKB? You just got to try and kite it out, basically. So, I mean, that's going to be the next thing that they're really waiting for.
Yep.
What does Maz have? Like, he's got the BKB queued up, but Is he going an overwhelming blink after that? Is he going for a satanic? What's going on?
That's like a BKB overwhelming blink combo. Or does he just, you know, leave those in queue and buy a satanic? I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of Marses just go for satanic and use bonk once and go back to full HP.
I feel like most of the time that's paired together with an IO, though. You know, something that's able to accelerate your farm enough.
You can actually do it yourself, unless you're being hit by a Vessel tick, and there's no Vessel carrier. So, a surprise satanic heal can be big if you have the damage for it. But hey, Roche is being taken, and Hydra are looking to respond for this. Young G already pops the smoke up at the Tiny, but ICQ coming in from the side, and they're outside of the pit. PuckChamp's coming to you instead of you going to them. And Colby getting hooked as well. There's the Grave Save coming in. The coil will land onto 3. Wukong's coming in a pretty good position. That's 2 down already, but the Monkey King getting killed by Roger. Impetus Spears in the face of this Monkey King. Colby down as well. Oh, goodness. That's Askel gonna go down as well and kicked. You're gonna TP away? You might. You're the only one getting out of this one.
I mean, they're tipping him. They're tipping poor kicked, but there was absolutely no way that Zeus survives if he graves him instead. Like, he was just getting chained, locked down. He'd used the Heavenly Jump. He had no other escape mechanisms for himself. So, honestly, it was a pretty good play to grave himself there.
And a really good chase from PuckChamp. I think the moment you see the Wukong's command being loaded out, the Zeus feels comfortable of walking in towards the fight. And PuckChamp at this whole time, they're not feeling afraid. They're dodging the Wukongs to fight. If we go to the fight place where we saw this, the Wukongs was something like this. You got okay, actually never mind. It's actually more like this, and I'm trying to avoid any extra lines in here. You got the Enchantress right clicking here. The Monkey King is here. The rest of the squad's just coming in from here, and you got Zeus basically sitting around in this area, just walking in towards the fight, and then the rest of the fight is them running away because oh boy, they just dodged my ulti completely.
Yeah, and well, also a big impact to that one was, unfortunately, Rari just snapped his own coil. There was that aspect to it as well. So he was just a sitting duck. Obviously, a ton of armor meant that he weren't really able to convert onto it with anyone that just likes to straight up right click. But honestly, you know what PuckChamp does? It was Enchantress using the pure damage that doesn't care about armor that ended up taking him out.
The Duck King. I would have.
I think it's the Timbersaw that still has the Fey Grenade, but you're getting pretty damn close to the Enchantress being the one that wants to be having that. I mean, she's, what, 200 gold away from Hurricane Pike, which is pretty nuts, again.
Yeah,
she's call out Roger.
Lifting as well with that Pupil's Gift. She's good for Enchantress and that extra HP that you gain from it, which is very nice. ICQ trying to split. It's got the PKB. It's a fresh 9-second PKB, which will be used for high ground defense. Down. Has the Yules for the cancel. Oh, gets the right click out, but not the Yules in time. I would have loved to see the player perspective of where his mouse was moving at that time.
All right, so
go ahead.
They have a Blink Dagger on Koval. Finally. It took like 22 minutes for him to have it. They have a BKB on Mars. Finally. Monkey King still doesn't, so that's going to be a big aspect of their ability to push or not. And Rari, he's just spending a lot of time dancing around these trees right now, not getting too much out of anything. And actually going to make a move to on top, a bot rather.
Still has that BKB, but difficult position to use it. Asphalt only does a limited amount of damage, and here we go. They've got the Wukongs onto the back line, and Punch is doing a lot of work here. Asphalt down, Rory going to get shielded up with the Grave for the time being, and he's going to get hooked and almost getting broken. The Wukongs is still up, but he's dead. Nevertheless, there's also the Puck just moving back and forth and kicked. Wants to TP away. No, sir. You get back over here. Scarlet secures the triple kill for the Pudge.
Could have worked out even better for them, to be honest, right? Like, the Timbersaw, he died, but he still had about half mana. He had a bunch of cooldowns available for himself, like the Yule Scepter. The IO was wanting to save the mechanism for his Pudge, but could have very easily just popped that one if he wanted to secure the Timbersaw, just that little bit of extra safety. But still ends up working out super well for them. They're going to get another tower for themselves, and again, that's what's going to open up the map. Roger waiting right there, wanting to secure the outpost immediately after it's taken.
Well, I mean, this is starting to turn pretty grim for Hydra and their story in Division 2 at the current pace. If they do end up losing this game, Empire and No Sorry might have some say in what is to come about that battle against X3 for a guaranteed tiebreaker match.
I think there will be guaranteed tiebreakers, right?
It is going to be a guaranteed tiebreaker, at least for one game, and then it's down to No Sorry and Empire. Are we going to get a 3-way or a 4-way tiebreaker? Those are the changes. So we have a 2 incoming. We might get a 3. We might get a 4.
Assuming Hydra doesn't make a miraculous comeback.
Assuming, yeah. X3 got their both victories in July. 1 loss against Amiga in their last series. They did lose every game, well, every series, sorry, before that. Relocate to the top lane, and that's a Monkey King. Yeah, that's a Monkey King. Hey, Mustache Man is back.
Hey, let's go Warpine Raider. He's not going to get devoured immediately this time.
He's a mean-looking, pretty happy fellow here with a mustachio to the high ground. Oh, I see Q. Wants to fight Moloch. Warpine Raider fighting valiantly. Gonna get hexed up by the poison touch. Down to 300 HP. We don't care about Moloch. The Warpine Raider's dead. He did not live long, but he lived a valiant life.
He did his job. He died for the cause.
Oh, he sacrificed himself for Moloch to get out. Who is building into a heart. We talked about this. He went heart, or almost finished the heart in game number 1 as it was about to finish, and now he's actually, again, building it. Is there any other item you would go for? Is heart the best option for the Timber? It is pretty good.
Or, let me have a think.
Can we agree it's pretty good?
Is it an Internal Shroud game? I'm just thinking, like, the extra lifesteal that comes from the Voodoo Mask is kind of nice.
Yeah. Oh, solo kill in the Dazzle. Let's go. Roger doesn't even want to intervene.
He's tired. He wants this game to end. He's got the Moonshard queued up for himself. He wants to be the one to just continue the push forward. And he's just saying, "Oh, Timbersaw, you just make sure you get that Fey Grenade off onto the target that I tell you to, okay? Because I'm the one that's going to be hitting him from downtown."
Yeah. Oh boy. This is a pain of a game for Hydra. Is there any way they can get back in?
Yes. Rari, he's close. He's very close to being able to pick up that BKB for himself. Obviously doesn't want to get caught out by Young G, who's just on the prowl, trying to find him. But, well, he's off the mark for now. We'll be able to get away just in time. I wonder if he even sells the... He did end up selling the Quelling Blade just so that he would have the net worth to be able to buy this. And, well, maybe now they're going to go for a smoke. The TP comes back from the Mars. He doesn't quite yet have the overwhelming blink, but I don't think you're going to get a better chance than this to be able to make a play. They're just pushing the lane out as much as they can. They're going to smoke up. They're going to try and get a pick off onto probably the Puck as the first main target, because once he gets the Dream Coil off, life becomes so much more difficult for Zeus in particular. You just need to make sure that Zeus can have a game and not get locked down completely.
Smoked inside their base is Hydra. PuckChamp right outside.
It's just Roger on the front lines again. He's being so annoying. He's just very hard to kill him. He's got plenty of charges. He's got that Pupil's Gift that we were talking about before. He pops
into the side. Actually got the jump on Young G, and that's a great start for Hydra, but the Wukong's is being used. Arena is placed down. They want to go to Dakalis and make sure he falls because he's pumping up this Krylat, Pudge, and Monkey King in
the life
trouble.
steal.
But now look at the turnaround. How the tables turn, or how the turns table, as Rari looks for himself another, maybe Dakalis dieback. It's a potential reality. So slow, but here comes ICQ. The spear to safety, and the whirling death clears him out, but it's only these 2 heroes remaining. ICQ pushes Timbersaw away from himself, and they just blinks in. Might actually be able to kill this Mars. Yes, he will. And that's a pretty aggressive toss as well, because Moloch, as he appears on one end, there's a dead Mars that was stuck somewhere in the chains of that chainsaw. So that's 3 for 3.
Could have been much, much worse. Like, they found the exact target that they wanted to get onto at the start. That Puck being dead is so influential, right? They're able to actually get the Zeus doing how much damage? Like 6,500 damage on the Zeus because he wasn't worried about getting focused by the Puck. He wasn't worried about the lockdown that he had to contend with. And even just the Monkey King, right? Being able to pick up another item, be able to be part of a number of kills, be able to be survivable with, again, the Dazzle just had a much freer fight. Being able to sit back, get multiple shallow graves off.
That's also Roshan that is up right now, and PuckChamp would like to keep their eyes open for it. Hydra, they've got some similar thoughts on their mind. If they can keep that Monkey King coming back and back, especially with Kicked with those really good graves, this is the game where he gets the grave. And I'm happy for him.
So Malak ended up changing. He went for the Overwhelming Blink instead of the Heart. I do prefer that as well. Just, again, something that's going to enable him to immediately get onto the backlines. The Timber Chain can be kind of telegraphed a little bit. And Roger, he's gone a bit more away from the hyper greed build that he was going before.
Yep.
He just even wants that AoE magic resist coming from the Pipe of Insight to be able to help out his team.
Colville's going to tank this smoke. He's literally found everybody. Young G has actually found Dazzle. Not the Dazzle, man. Trying to juke around with both snaps, and they're quick with their reactions there as soon as he pops.
Free Roshan.
Free Roshan, yeah. Or their kill. ICQ. The fighting as Malik. Relocate is coming in with the teleport away. No hook from Croylat.
Good hook. Yeah.
I think there was a creep in between of the relocate landing.
No excuses.
No excuses.
We've got the Roshan being engaged upon now. So Krylet just waiting for the high five. Ducalis leaving him hanging for a little bit until he finally gives it over. But this is going to be that second Roshan. Who gets it? Wouldn't hate to see Tibasaur get it. He's already incredibly farmed. Means that he could just be that extra little bit of layer of high ground sieging potential.
It has to be Pudge. Or the IO? The dieback IO? No, he's moving out, so it is the Pudge.
Oh, sorry, I said the shard for Malik.
Oh, the shard. Right. Yeah, of course. The pushing power tool, the flamethrower.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They've also got Aghanim Scepter completed if he wants to buy it. Skold has to be very careful. Look at this burst damage. Give him a little shove back with a Psychic Headband.
Yeah, Monarch definitely does a decent amount. He's been doing that quite a lot, where he just overwhelming blinks in for the Whirling Death and the Chakram combo.
Mm-hmm. Just gonna get worse and worse. All right, now he's going Satanic. Now he's like, okay, I want to two-shot these people just with my Overwhelming Blink.
Still a triple net worth lead on all the cores, and PuckChamp has been the theme of all this game. And you want to throw a Gaben Graph prediction for Hydra's win chance?
I'm gonna say 2%.
I'm gonna say 4. And it is 6.
6?
So that's
combined.
Optimistic. Yeah, combined. True, we are correct. Casters are not always cursed, viewers. We are right about something. When we put two guys together, two heads together, I guess you can come up with some good results. But hey, this is, you know, the classic turtle-based defense. Mushi once said, if you sit in your base for too long, it's the end of the game. Basically, you're going to lose this game eventually. So, smoke out. Start to look for some answers.
Yeah, I mean, PuckChamp are fine with sitting back and just taking things on their terms, right? They've, what's he been going there?
Smoked up.
He's got the refresher, of course.
Oh, that's the Monkey King. Never mind. I found the Tinker Board. That's so weird seeing a creep being smoked.
Well, Krillet has refresher.
Maybe this is the game where we get to see the double hook with the refresher.
Maybe. Could be the way to finish it off.
Finish it with style. Blink into the fountain and hook two of your allies there. Hopefully not. Yeah, this is Pretty scary as well in terms of where do you take the fight on Hydra's side, because ICQ, you could get a good arena, but you don't want your Monkey King to be around. And oh, Kroilat! Beautiful blink on top of Dazzle and on the Mars, and they are struggling, but they are spreading into two different directions. And Kick, he wants to get to the base, and the spider legs will help, but the Chakram's going to be there, and an illusory orb. And an impetus spear from a million miles away ends up connecting on him, so Roger gets the kill on Kicked.
You could tell that Kroilat wanted to get that refresher use just to prevent the escape inside the base, but again, he has no fear right now.
Wukong's command placed down for protection, and Rari gets hooked out of it. The Zero ulti gone. The arena has been placed down, however, Timbersaw getting focused on the Monkey King as well, and the Aegis carrier, that is the Pudge. Still back in full HP, and he's got the second ulti with the refresher. The Grave comes out just in time, but Rari needs some kind of force staff, some kind of move up and up, but he's going back to full HP with a Boundless Strike that connects onto 4, and still fighting to get another stack up for himself, but he's going to go down. It won't help him at all. Krylat still in the front, 400 HP, and that's the first kill. The Aegis pops, and Ducalis is ready in the back, but Young G's been sniping heroes. He's killed Ascald. They're going to kill Kick, even with the missed hook from Krylat. Does not matter. Buybacks are coming in. They're trying to take out the Timbersaw on the back line. Ducalis still with the relocate, not using it at all, and they're fighting all the way to the end. Malik is just moving around, and just being that little fast race car that Death Mars cannot catch, and that's another buyback coming in. Hook will miss. Puck will also buy back. And Krylat needs some help. He's got allies arriving. He's got one from the side, another from the high ground as they're arriving, but Krylat is down. Rari has the fight against the Enchantress and against the Malik Timbersaw. He's getting burnt up, and there we go. Rari is down, the dieback's there, and Hydra, you are going to tiebreakers. PuckChamp has taken the series in their name and forced Hydra into an awkward position, but that's a victory for PuckChamp nevertheless. And I was waiting for the ending screen, but
you don't gotta pause on them. But well, the GG eventually comes through. PuckChamp securing the victory, and who would have thought it would have been on the back of a couple of Pudge games as well. Finally, we got to see the Roger Enchantress really shine. He just does everything with it, right? Scouting out, being in the right position to stop smokes, getting net worth, and dealing a crap ton of damage, both tower and hero. Doing the most tower damage on his entire team, in fact. So, yeah, really solid performance coming from PuckChamp that we would have expected coming out from them. Obviously, a very talented group of players, and yeah, it's business as usual. Not exactly the result Hydra would have been wanting, but that's the one they got.
And that's does mean that Hydra does get to play more Dota on the positive side. Downside, it is a survival battle. Are they staying in Div 2? Is Hydra again gonna have to play through a qualifier to get back in, or what's the case for maybe? That's for later on this week to find out. PuckChamp, at least, they leave with style, getting themselves 2 Pudge victories, stretching it to the third game. It was a bit of a tough game 2 for them, but a bit more conservative game 3. I feel like if they wanted to start the series with such a fun draft that they got to execute in game number 1, where did the fun disappear? And did they actually have fun winning this series anymore since it went to 3? You said Roger already wants to get out of here, which probably was the theme as well. These were pretty long games in the end. So what do you think? Did they still have fun?
I think they had fun. I mean, we'll be able to ask them if there is an interview. Fingers crossed that there is. But I think with this win as well, it's 4th place secured for PuckChamp. They can't move up or down from there. Cybercats have the head-to-head win, so even if they end up losing their game against Hellraisers, they're still going to be ahead of them on their head-to-head differential. So, I mean, that's probably not exactly where PuckChamp were wanting to be at the start of this season. They unceremoniously dropped out of Div 2 last time. They didn't go straight back up, and that's absolutely what they would have been wanting to do. So I'm sure there's going to be some smiles there just for being able to secure this with some fun heroes, but it's got to be hurting a little bit too.
And I would not even, I'm going to say it, I'm not going to be too surprised if PuckChamp would actually maybe drop the roster and change for, new players to spread around into new teams. Or if they decide to stick with the team because, I feel like it's a tour as it is, but, not getting back to Div 1, it's got to hurt. You usually do some player shuffles at that point. But there's a lot of talented players in this team that if they spread into their own directions and buff up some of the other teams, we might look at the next DPC tour start with some very interesting East European teams with the addition of, maybe players like Roger, maybe players like Rylat. Who knows what Young G is going to be doing. So if PuckChamp decides to stick with it, they better come with a hunger at least to get themselves back in Div 1. But the result is what it is. They go 4-3. 4 victories is not too bad. Might end up being a tied third place with, depending what happens with Cybercats, what happens with Hellraisers,
No.
or just
Cybercats have the
fourth.
head-to-head. They stay in fourth.
Yeah. So
but I don't know how that impacts TI regional qualifiers, right? Because previously, I think we've only got 1 year to really base this on, but it's based off your DPC points, not based on your position at the end of the third season, if that makes sense. Like if you're in Division 1 or Division 2, and PuckChamp still have like 180 DPC points because of Season 1. So they're not in a bad spot. So I think they might still be like in the regional qualifiers, seated in the upper bracket. Don't take my word as gospel, but logically, that's how it probably should be, with how things shaped up in last year of the DPC.
That's true.
So we'll see. I mean, if they stick together and they continue playing like this, I'd say they're a smoky chance to be able to maybe get a spot at the last chance TI thing, where they get to go to LAN and play against all the other regions, depending on, of course, how many of the, let's call them the big four, end up qualifying through in outside of Spirit, Na'Vi, and Betbu.
Yep.
At the moment, it's really only looking like Spirit that have absolutely secured themselves a spot there.
Well, I've just heard word from the admin. We do not have an interview, unfortunately, so PuckChamp says no, and we're just going to have to close out the stream, basically, at the end of this. I mean, by the looks of it, tiebreakers are most likely happening. Elimination, yes. Promotion is a maybe. That falls to the later series later on this week. We have HR versus Cybercats and Empire versus No Sorry, both on the 14th. That is on Thursday this week. Don't miss out on those games because, again, I want to highlight these are Division 2 games for a very exciting region. East Europe has definitely improved a lot, and teams like Hellraisers and Cybercats just started off with a rocket of a season, and then Hellraisers, who want to be and should be in Division 1 after that debacle of a 2-2 playoff, and they lost every single game and got knocked out. They will put up a hell of a fight, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be a very interesting series as well to watch. So keep an eye open for those as well. But our time is pretty much coming to an end here. This was my last cast for the season. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing tiebreakers in the weekend or not, but it was a pleasure actually to get the cast with you, Danog.
Yeah, of course, always a pleasure, and I really enjoyed myself as well. I'm going to be praying for some more tiebreakers because I want to see some more T-Panda casts, even if I am not your co-caster for those ones. But always great. Make sure you're following T on his Twitter, his social media, and supporting him whenever he is casting because he is a lovely man.
Oh, thank you for that. Also, hit up on Danog on Twitter as well. We are going to close out the show, so thank you, all of you people who've been watching today. We've had 6 games of Dota, both SDA and East Europe. The first games of the 6th and the final week of the DPC tour for the regular season is on its way and coming to a close in a couple of days. So until then, take care of yourselves, everybody. Good nights and bye-bye.